Hello, I'm Erik. I've invited my friends Greg Talley and Ryan Smith to join me in ingesting fun and bizarre foods. We'd like you to join us too. So come in and open up. It's Junkmouth. Hi, I'm Erik.
I'm Greg.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
Welcome, listeners, to the Roof Lizard Lounge, high atop the Dino Hotel in picturesque Lakewood, Colorado. Above our restaurant, Paleo Joe's, and just a short drive from Denver and the Rocky Mountains. Let's start our lunch swap. Greg, what did you bring in your lunch today?
Well, in the top tier of my fancy pants Mumbai tiffin is a toasted baguette with slices of a grana padano dip with basil, broad beans, peas, vegetable sprouts, and dried olives. The olives were dried over the smoky fire of burning robin's eggs. In the middle layer is a French onion soup with pool, a Serbian donkey cheese. It takes 25 liters of donkey's milk to make 1 kilogram of donkey cheese, hopefully in as cruel a fashion as possible. Also, the onions were grown on an ancient burial ground, and I'm not saying which one, but the natives are seeking the death of the offender. So, Klaus, you are a wonderful onion collector. May you rest in peace. The bottom tier is a wild cloudberry cheesecake.
That actually sounds relatively normal and non-destructive, Greg.
Well, other than Klaus, but I mean...
the cloudberry cheesecake. Everything else, of course, is a horror show, as always.
Oh, the cloudberry cheesecake. Well, it did involve the tears of orphans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you can't feed Greg anything that doesn't involve orphans in some sense. So let me open my Land of the Giants lunchbox. All right. Oh, whoa, close that up. Oh, I have to really apologize. I can obviously tell there's lutefisk in there. I don't pack my own lunch, and I think I'm starting to pay for it. All right, let's move on. Ryan, what did you bring today?
I've got a Greek salad, a Lipton iced tea, and a mint chocolate brownie.
Wait, did you take my lunch and replace it with lutefisk?
Hey, the store was just throwing the lutefisk out in the trash. What was I supposed to do?
Okay.
You really had that coming. I can see why. This is what you get for being accepting and tolerant and trusting. Never
which one of us are you
anyone.
talking to?
Well, not Ryan. Ryan trusts no one. This is really an admonition to you.
Oh, me for being trusting and...
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
the lunchbox is sitting right out there.
I do kind of leave it in the middle of the table. I suppose I had it coming.
Especially... And I'll tell you what, your security's nowhere near as good as Greg's when I stole his lunch a couple of weeks ago. I mean, there were like laser beams I had to scoot under.
Yeah, I really don't bother. I didn't figure anyone would care so much.
I had to kill a dog. I had to literally strangle a dog by main force to get to the refrigerators to steal Greg's lunch.
He actually went through 3 rooms that were unconnected and just strangled the dog just because.
Yeah, it wasn't actually like a guard dog. It was just a dog that happened to be in a room next to but.
Rest in peace, Mr. Noodles.
Right. Okay. Well, it sounds like we're all fed, or at least 2 of us, and so now I would like to welcome our listeners to our episode Fromage de Junkmouth.
And what's our theme today? So good.
Well, fromage, cheese.
Oh my
Greg,
God.
Are you eating?
Why are you already eating?
I brought cheese snacks. I mean, I love my cloudberry orphan tears cheesecake, but you know what I'm eating? This is a little Lucky Strike Extra. These are Cheez-Its. The world's best junk food. Cheez-Its.
I agree, but why are you eating them right? You have any idea?
We have all kinds of food in front of us.
How
Greg.
loud that bag is on the microphone.
So good.
I've got to edit these things, Greg.
Well, I'm not really concerned. I've got my Cheez-Its. But go on. Tell us about what
People
the podcast
say I'm
is about.
soulless.
All right. Well, our podcast is about cheese, but Greg, come on. I'm trying to talk here.
Go on. I'm listening.
All right.
I will feed you that bag, and I don't mean what the contents of the bag. I mean I will take that bag and ram it down your throat if you don't stop eating Cheez-Its.
Yes, sir.
Put it away.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Now I'd like to let everybody know that we are the second podcast joining the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Revival League to form the Dino Hotel Entertainment Network of America, or DINA. And we have a couple other shows that have joined us. Ryan, why don't you tell us about the show that just recently joined the network?
Yeah, we've got 10 Backward going right now. That's James Rawling and Ron McAdams, two favorites from the Revival League podcast. Basically, they're taking Star Trek The Next Generation, going episode by episode, and just sort of talking and joking about that, only they're doing it from back to front. I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. So the two-parters should be interesting since they get to see the end before the beginning. It's a great show. Ron and James, of course, are really funny guys. So give it a listen.
And then we got Geeky Drink. That's the other one. And this is becoming our Waiting for Godot new show. It's basically Ryan and I keep waiting for our schedules to slow down to launch a new show about fan communities translated into cocktails and other pleasurable libations. And Ryan's real job, not his podcast job, keeps piling him up with more work, and we keep getting busier with all of our podcasts. But someday, twinkle in our eye, we're getting Geeky Drink out there.
It's basically just an excuse for Greg to drink. He has a real deep and abiding lust for alcohol.
I'm a souse. I'm a lush. What can I say?
You'd think as busy as he is, he'd make it more of a priority, but maybe it's just recording it is what hasn't been a priority.
You might even call me an old soak. But if
I wouldn't call you an old soak because it's not 1932.
I'm hanging out in gin joints, see?
Oh, good God.
Yeah, well, that was definitely cheesy. And speaking of cheesy, let's talk about...
I will hit you. How dare you?
How dare I what?
That is the worst pun I have heard all week.
Yeah, we've had some really awkward segues on our show.
How dare you?
That was the most awkward segue we've ever had.
So, how dare me, and you laugh at me, Ryan.
Well, I laugh at you all the time.
Yeah, but that was contempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, but I think what he was trying to say, before we cheese it up with the fromage
I will
puns,
hit you.
is before we dig into our first course, we need to sing for our supper. So load the reel-to-reel tape with that sweet Kevin Murphy jingle for the Dino Hotel.
Roll the tape.
The next time you travel to Denver, make your journey into one that you'll remember. Don't just sit around and wish when you can have an expedition at the Dino Hotel. Stretch, snarl, growl.
All right, thank you, Kevin Murphy. And now before we dig in, let's lay out our ground rules. The first thing is, everything we try on the show, we get things that are not widely distributed in the USA. And the second piece being, we actually look for foods that are not just local brands. We try to get some things that are really unique. The third rule is we fit all our foods each week to a theme. And the final rule is, these guys twisted my arm, and we each get one pass card every week for something if we just think it's just too much to try.
Yeah.
Too disgusting. And actually, I think we've all used that at least once.
Well,
so.
I think only once, I think.
I think so.
You know,
Except I think Greg went twice.
I did.
Greg use
Yeah,
two?
Greg's on too.
Okay.
But we've been doing pretty good.
It was those bacon jelly beans. I just couldn't.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
You know, they're not, actually not bad, but I have noticed because I took them home, they're not bad if you eat them one at a time over, I'll have one and set it aside. The more you eat, the worse they get. If you eat
You
several
end
in
up
a sitting,
burping
you're
up smoke.
well, this is terrible. This was a bad idea. And I mean, granted, there was one episode that knocked me flat on my back, and I was absent for another episode. So yeah, I didn't really take a pass card. I was just in a coma.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our food because we're going to switch it up. Normally we start with our eat segment, but we're going to go right to our drink just because we did something a little different than normal. We've got a shake here, and I don't want it to melt too much.
How on earth are you going to do a cheese drink?
Well, you can see right in front of you because we've got these already dished out. We have a strawberry cheesecake shake from Crave Real Burgers. And long-time listeners, well, Not that that'd be really a long time considering how long we've had this podcast
Yeah,
around.
only got like 8 episodes out. So.
Yeah. But people who've been listening to this podcast from the beginning will know we have had a rather decadent burger from there before. So this time we're going to go with their shake and see what their drinks are like. So
All right.
Okay, so New York strawberry cheesecake shake. It smells delicious. So
yeah,
so I'm surprised this isn't a Be Merry because this could actually be dessert.
it could be. So let's go give it a try.
Oh man, that's lovely.
Oh, that is great.
That's actually very good. Yeah. And I'm not really a fan of strawberry or cheesecake in like shakes. I'm not a huge fan of cheesecake, period. But I'm not like a real fan of like strawberry shakes. But this is really good.
And I want
This
to
is like a 5.
I want to point out, that not only is this 5 greasy wrappers, when they say cheesecake, they don't mean cheesecake flavoring. No, there are actual chunks of cheesecake and strawberries floating around like boba inside the shake.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
Yeah, and it even has a graham cracker crust with the graham cracker pieces are in the shake. Everything. It tastes great, like a good cheesecake.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
You did some research. I had no idea that cheesecakes were that ancient.
Yeah, I've got the earliest cheesecakes were mentioned by the Greek physician Egimus, who wrote a book on the art of making cheesecakes. They weren't necessarily the cheesecakes we know today.
Would they have been sweetened?
I don't know. I didn't read the text. I kind of stopped my research.
They wouldn't
there.
have had sugar back then, like refined sugar, but they would have had honey.
Yeah.
So interesting.
So very possible.
Also lead, which was used as a sweetener in ancient times.
Mostly in wine, though.
That would have been really healthy.
Yeah, well, they knew it was killing them, and they still used it, so there you go.
And then we have like the earliest cheesecake recipe we have is from Cato the Elder in the Agricultura, which he had 2 different cheesecake recipes that were for religious uses.
For religious uses.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
I mean, ancient Rome cheesecake religion.
Well, he just
things,
stole those recipes from the Cheesecake Factorum or whatever the Latin equivalent is.
That would be cool. And of course, then we have the first modern recipe we know of is Forme de Curie, which is an English cookbook from 1390.
Wow.
This is ancient stuff. I always thought cheesecake would have been like a 20th century invention.
Yeah. So, cheese. I mean, you think cheese has been around for a long time, and so people have made it into cakes going back quite some time.
I love the fact that this is, on this basis, Chef Heston Blumenthal has argued that this is in your notes.
Yes.
The cheesecake is an English invention. But we clearly have earlier references for it. You don't get to say it's an English invention just because a recipe from a medieval English cookbook showed up. When Cato the Elder put a couple of recipes in his book.
Well, and it may be the modern version of the cheesecake.
Yeah, still.
But yeah, definitely. All right.
Well, it makes you wonder. I mean, when you make a cheesecake, you use a forming pan and use graham cracker crust, and you use some
Well,
sort
now
of
we do. They wouldn't have
strawberry coulis or sauce on top. So, I mean, I bet you these are cheesecakes in name only. They might have been savory cheesecakes. There's more than one way to prepare a softened cheese cake. So, have you ever had savory cheesecake before, guys?
No.
It's amazing. Yeah. There's actually
Delicious.
a guy in Colorado out on the Western Slope who makes habanero cheesecake in a jar, and it is phenomenal. It'll blow your socks off. It's so good. But man, is it hot.
Well, I'll add here, since as I recall, I didn't point out that I also think this was a 5 for this cheesecake shake we just had.
Yeah, I finished
so we'll do that.
I'm
and it
not
made
finishing
me,
mine simply because I don't want to get full. But it's good.
Yeah, I've finished mine as you guys were talking there, and I think that made me so happy. It's time to move on to our next segment of Accentuate the Positive.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is where I talk about one of these many great joys in life that make it just great to be alive. And this week, I want to share an article from the March-April issue of Zymergy magazine that combines 2 subjects I think are going to be fairly popular with our Junkmouth listeners: beer and dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool. the article is called "Hops for Triceratops?" ? And it talks about, this is an article all about the history of the hop and how it evolved, its evolution. We've got a BGCP judge, homebrewer, and Jurassic fossil expert, Judge Kelly Trujillo, who said that the prehistoric history of hops is all a part of where hops are today. How far they've come has to do with where they started in the first place. Well, probably. But we did find that the first angiosperms that developed into all the types of flowering plants that would create hops are about 125 million years old.
Oh, wow.
And that's now these weren't hops specifically yet, but and then there was a break off of the Cannabacea line, which includes hops, cannabis, and a bunch of other flowers that are related, but those are the two that probably people are most familiar with.
Yeah. In Colorado anyway.
Yeah. So, but then just 67 million years ago is when we started to see some actual hops fossilized, and they have found some in the Hell Creek Formation in North Dakota, where we also find a lot of Triceratops and Tyrannosaurs. It's become a real famous place for fossil digs.
Oh yeah, one of the most famous for Cretaceous.
Yeah. And so in the same places where they find Triceratops, they find in a lot of the digested pieces and the fossilized dinosaur dung, they've found a lot of these plant fossils, including things that are hop resembling, probably were hops.
Meanwhile, at a microbrewery on an island off the coast of Costa Rica, an intrepid developer is sparing no expense on his dinosaur microbrewery.
And
He was so worried about whether he could that he never stopped to think if he should.
Yeah. Should we make prehistoric beer? Yeah,
I've got no problem with that. I don't know why we haven't cloned a woolly mammoth just to see if it's tastes good.
No, if we could have woolly mammoth burgers with dinosaur beer, I'm down with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Somehow I don't think that was too much into reality, but I like the idea.
Well, I mean, there's a possibility of cloning a mammoth. We have some intact DNA, and I want to know what it tastes like. So, that's the whole point of cloning extinct or endangered species as far as I'm concerned, so we can try to eat them, yeah. Yeah. It's a tragedy to kill a condor. Not if we can clone them. Throw it on the grill.
Yeah, especially if they can thrive in the current environment and aren't an invasive species.
Yeah. Does a bald eagle taste good? I'll never know, but if we get to cloning, maybe.
Yeah, not sure if I want to try a bald eagle.
I'm sorry, I was in a reverie just contemplating eating bald eagle.
Of course, Greg knows.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that bad.
One of your illegal safari hunts with Erik Trump.
Yeah, we do enjoy to go out and shoot endangered animals, Erik and I.
I want to bring up one last point from this article. The Ian Miller is one of the paleontologists. He definitely subscribes to the whole meteor impact being the reason for extinction for the dinosaurs. And according to him, this plant, referring to hops, survived a meteor impact, shockwave, firestorm, thermal pulse, acid rain, and then the effects of nuclear winter. This wonderful plant, as we know and love today, squeaked through that window when 60% of the plants in North America went extinct.
Wow.
So, hops, tough little plant, make great beer, and connect to dinosaurs. So makes me happy.
So maybe that classic sci-fi piece where the hunters go back in time rather than step on the butterfly and change everything. What if the horror shock ending is they stepped on the last hops plant and there was no beer?
Well, we'd all be drinking Gruit.
Yeah, it would be a sad, sad time.
All right. Well, at this, I think we can go ahead and move on. Ryan, we like to give you a chance to speak up every week. You complain about us being happy all the time and want to. I think you like to have a place where you can either just hammer home against something that makes us happy, or just bring out something that we don't think about that's really morbid. So, what would you like to talk about this week?
Okay. Anything I want?
Anything you want, buddy.
Always.
No,
All
this
right.
is this. We're a permissive place here. We're very open-minded. We support free speech. So please go ahead.
Okay. Virgin sacrifices to the abominable god Moloch. Really?
Whoa! Wait,
What?
what? No!
No.
Cut this part.
Wow.
No. Wow.
Well, in that case, actually, I'm in a pretty good mood this week, so nothing.
That's it?
Yeah. Life is good.
Hey.
Sun's shining, snow's melting. I feel great.
Who are you?
I'm just screwing with you. Life is a, no good, godless void, and we're all spinning helplessly into oblivion. But not before we suffer the indignity of growing old and dying with all our friends and family most likely gone before us or alienated. So just remind you, Greg, you'll die alone.
I actually feel a great deal of relief because you were happy and sunshiny there for a minute. So to hear depressing nihilist Ryan back sort of feels like the world just righted itself.
I don't necessarily mean, when I say you'll die alone, Greg, I don't mean like a general you. I'm talking specifically about you.
I can accept that. but it's
Erik and I will probably have pretty happy lives.
not- Oh.
Wow, you've really turned around in your view toward me, apparently.
I'm really just trying to make Greg feel bad. I mean, we all die ultimately alone, Erik.
I've been told many times that when I'm sad, and I'm very sad right now, that there are two great things you can do, and that's eat cheese and chocolate. So now that I'm thoroughly depressed and ready for some emotional eating, thank you, Ryan, I'd like to... I'd like to eat something savory.
Yeah, let's move on. As we already did our drink segment, let's do our eat segment. And this week we've got some Northwoods Cheese Company Wisconsin cheddar, and we're going to serve this on Jacob's cream crackers.
That sounds actually suspiciously decent.
Yeah, that sounds like...
Well, we had a great shake. I'm trying to do well for you guys this week. So.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, you sort of owe us after some of the stuff you've
Smell
foisted upon us
Really?
before.
Smell it, Ryan. I'm suspicious.
It smells like good cheese.
Smells like really good cheese.
It smells
yeah.
like great cheese.
Yeah.
Am I
And
going to
it's-
bite
and
into
it's-
this and a steel spring
This
trap
is- this
going
is
to
actually-
close on my nose?
I was going to say, this is actually real Wisconsin cheese. And, Wisconsin has a real strong history with cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, since 1910, when it passed up New York, they've been the largest cheese-producing state in the United States. ever
Also
since.
more serial killers than you'd think.
I'm sure there are.
It's mostly the cheese that causes that.
Yeah.
All right. I want to take a bite.
You just want to take a bite? Okay,
Yes,
let's take a
yes.
bite. Let's.
That is some seriously good cheese.
That is really good.
Crackers could use a little more crunch, but the cheese
Yeah, it's
is
not
great.
it's not a saltine.
It's not a great cracker. The cream cracker I could pass on, I think. So I might.
It looks like the kind of crackers they served on the Titanic.
Yeah, that they used as flotation
Yeah,
devices.
Might be
so-
I'm just going to eat the cheese. I think that's much better than the cracker.
Now, when Rose was floating on that giant cream cracker, I
Mm-hmm.
contend there was room for Jack on the cracker as well.
Well, the Mythbusters proved, yeah, there was.
There was.
So Leonardo DiCaprio died for nothing.
Yeah, these cream crackers are
I'm ditching the cracker. I'm just eating the cheese.
I'm doing that too. Even though I've got some stuff on these cream crackers in the notes. They were made in Ireland they cream the batter. So, it's like thoroughly whipped until it's just full of air and fluffy and fine, and it's supposed to create a smooth, creamy texture to the cracker, which I think it takes away from the crispness. I'm not that impressed.
Yeah, it's not a crisp cracker at all.
No, so
I'm going to just try
with that-
the cracker by itself.
yeah.
There are communion wafers with more flavor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cheese is a 5, though. The cracker is just the delivery system. I don't take points off for that.
No, let's. I think we rank them separate. I think these crackers are not that good. They're not bad.
No, they're not bad. They just don't
I'm
going
going
to
to go with the cracker. It's a 2.5. But I agree.
Agreed.
The cheese is a 5.
Cheese is definitely 5 greasy wrappers. And I got to say, the cracker, my go-to cracker for soup, for anything, is a saltine. And this tastes like an unsalted diet saltine. This is like...
It tastes a lot like a stale, not really stale, but just stale enough to remove the crisp.
Yeah, like a stale, like saltine that somebody already sucked the salt off of.
But diet. You're absolutely right. It's like a diet.
Gave it to you soggy from their mouth for you to eat cheese off of.
And how can they really call it a saltine when it's like, hey, here's some no-salt saltines? Well, no, they're not saltines. They're, I don't know, teens?
You want to eat teens? I hope that's cannibalism. 'Cause otherwise, that's even worse.
Tines.
Okay.
Yeah, so I realized I'd made a mistake as soon as I said that.
Yeah. One of Ryan's many mistakes in life, but this is
not the least of which is
cheese.
agreeing to this podcast.
I know, right? But at least, Ryan, this is weird because you're here and he hasn't tortured you yet with something really disgusting.
Yeah.
It's actually been decent so far. I mean, normally we wait for you to leave and then we have amazing, wonderful food.
Yeah.
And, we just sort of hear your footsteps die down the corridor and then...
break out the steaks. And the
exactly. And the baked
French
potatoes.
salt pie.
Yeah. So he's
Ryan's coming back. Get the Mongolian blood stew out.
pretty much.
We haven't done Mongolian blood stew. Good idea. Thanks.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, he's making a note. Ryan, what have you done?
So now, this was definitely a hit. So, Greg, are you up to telling us a story this week?
Yes, I am. If it's time for Tales of the Stupid,
Does it have to be?
It has to be. Hold on, I'm going to get my my audio aid here of my bag of Cheez-Its.
I will end you.
No. This is a prop, Ryan, because this is today I'm going to talk about Cheez-Its. Now, this is a cracker.
Yeah.
That has
the end. Let's move on.
No. I mean, there's so much more to it. Picture
A cracker
this.
with cheese.
It's 1921. We've just left World War I a few years before. It's the
2
roaring
years
20s. Prohibition is in full swing. We're talking about jazz babies and speakeasies and gangsters, you see? The Green and Green Company of Dayton, Ohio decides what if you took some cheesy deliciousness and baked it into a tiny square cracker. Thus was born the intrepid spirit of the mighty Cheez-Its, the world's best junk food. All hail this 1 inch by 0.95 inch miracle. These almost square crackers are made of wheat flour, vegetable oil, a very sharp cheddar cheese, salt, and unknown spices. The cracker is now manufactured by the Kellogg Company through its Sunshine Biscuits division. It is a sweet, sweet, delicious thing that comes in many flavors. Why, did you know that you can get it in atomic cheddar, baby Swiss, cheddar jack, Cheez-It Bigs, chipotle cheddar, and poodle? So lots and lots of flavor. Wait, eat some. They're delicious.
You're going to sit here telling me every one of the dozens of flavors of Cheez-Its, I'm just going to start eating Cheez-Its because I have lost the ability to care.
When you lose the ability to care and you turn to emotional eating, what better thing than to try a Cheez-It?
I'm good.
Oh, yes, Cheez-Its. Less than 1 gram of total dietary fiber. Cheez-Its, the most amazing food on the planet. Please eat more Cheez-Its. By the way, we are not sponsored by Cheez-Its, but at this point, we should be, because Cheez-Its are wonderful. Anyway, that is my Tales of the Stupid. Greg out.
Really lived up to its name today, Greg.
You're welcome.
Particularly stupid. I'm impressed. I always
Let me
think
have
he
some
was a
Cheez-Its,
little more
please.
intelligent than that. But all right, it looks like
I felt
his-
myself getting dumber while he was talking.
yes, definitely.
It's a side effect. It happens. Man, those Cheez-Its
and
are
this is
good.
unfortunate because I know both you and I are reasonably intelligent.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we're carrying him. That's obvious.
yeah, well, I mean, he's kind of like the dancing monkey that everybody likes to look at.
Yeah.
He does add something, but it's definitely not the intelligence.
No, not at
yeah.
all.
When I eat cream crackers, I can't whistle.
God.
Wow.
It's like you almost pity him, and then you look at his face, and you just want to hit him.
Can I just like wrestle him down on the ground? You can hit him.
Yeah,
While I
absolutely.
hold him? Okay,
Sure.
We'll do that later though, because now we have one more segment for our episode this week, and that is the Be Merry. And Greg, I know you happen to receive our Be Merry food for this week.
Oh, yes, and I am so delighted to share this with you. This actually is a thank you present all the way from Vermont from one of the MST3K Revival League admins, Pam, who joined us for our Easter watch-along of the new season of Mystery Science Theater. She sent ahead some chocolates, and they are made by the Laughing Moon Chocolate Company, and it is chocolates stuffed with cheese from Stowe Village, Vermont. And we have two flavors here. One is Vermont Chèvre, which is goat cheese and lavender, and the other one is Bailey Hazen blue cheese truffles.
Oh.
So we're talking blue cheese and chocolate and Chèvre and lavender and chocolate. I'm going to say if we're going to treat this like a flight of food, we should probably start with the goat cheese because it'll be overpowered by the blue cheese. So
I'll take your word for it, Greg.
You know, I'm really reticent. I'm hesitant about fan-contributed stuff because when it sucks, I don't want the person to feel like I'm insulting them.
Well, Pam is a friend, so if it sucks, she'll probably be delighted.
She probably wants to torture you. She'll probably laugh and take joy if you find it awful.
So, Pam, if I like this or dislike it, it's nothing personal. If I loathe it, it's absolutely nothing personal. But I got to tell you right off the bat, I'm not a fan of blue cheese. So I don't think I've had goat cheese. I don't think I have. So
I love goat cheese.
I think goat cheese is great.
I love chocolate.
And I will say, Pam, whatever I feel about this, I want you to know this is a personal judgment on you and your character. And I think whatever you send us, that's how I'm going to judge you from now on, just to be really clear about that.
I'm excited. This looks glorious. I'm going to pull out one of these truffles. This is the Chèvre one. So there you go. It's sitting in a little cup. It's in like a jewelry size or pencil box size box. Looks like they're hand dipped. Has a little curly Q on top of these hand dipped cheese balls. So what's it smell like, guys? Does it smell like chocolate?
It smells like
dark chocolate.
Smells like
they
chocolate.
look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous to look at.
I will also say, when I was a kid, my grandfather once sent me a chocolate-covered item that looked this great and was absolutely awful because it was a chocolate-covered pickle.
Oh.
So I can't say looking good on a chocolate is something that automatically gets me excited.
Well, and the only other
was that a joke? Or?
Yes. I can't remember how the conversation started, but he said he would do that, and I said, there's no way you'd ever do it, and he proved me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually like your grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So it's sitting in a little candy wrapper cup.
Yes, it's like a
Reese's,
candy.
Like a Reese's peanut butter. It is a candy-like substance sitting there in its candy-ishness. So, yes, I think we should try said candy.
Do you ever just get tired of the sound of your own voice, you long-winded asshole?
I have no idea what you're talking about. So, shall we
Every
try
day
some
it's just
candy?
It's a struggle not to hit him.
He's oblivious. You just got to learn to take it.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Chèvre chocolate. Let's see what it tastes like.
Alrighty.
I'm getting the chocolate.
Good dark chocolate flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get goat cheese yet.
No, I'm not either.
There's a little something there.
There's something a little different in the middle. It's a typical truffle with the chocolate filling, and there is something a little different in the
There's a little tang
filling.
to it.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's very good. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good dark chocolate truffle with just
Laughing Moon.
something.
Yeah, Laughing Moon chocolates.
So far, so good. I like this a lot.
Yeah, surprisingly good.
I think to be fair to the chocolate company, we need to rate these two chocolates differently and not like weighted average.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
So this one gets a 5.
5 for me.
5 greasy wrapper. This is amazing.
Easily.
Wait a minute. Have we just got? We gave the shake all straight fives. We gave the cheese all straight 5s, and now we're chocolate. What is going on here?
I know.
We have never
No.
had food like this good.
No.
I'm just waiting for that last chocolate to be so disgusting we can hardly keep it down.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm
this is not.
terrified
It's blue cheese.
because this is really good.
Yeah,
This is easily a 5.
this is insane. We've now had more all 5s on this episode than we've had in all of our episodes
Ever,
before.
yeah.
We've had 2 of them before this.
So this is the apotheosis. This is the pinnacle of the podcast. It can only go downhill from here.
Yeah,
So,
we peaked.
on that note,
Much like life.
the Bailey Hazen blue cheese truffles. Also dark chocolate from Laughing Moon. Let's try this. Same deal.
They look identical on the outside.
Truffles, dark chocolate, paper cup. Blah,
Yes,
blah, blah.
it's packed like chocolate candy, Greg.
Exactly. I'm painting a word picture for our beloved audience.
You can say more
And they
with less
smell
matter.
just like the other dark chocolate. Isn't that amazing?
This chocolate smells like chocolate. That's incredible. Whoever would have thought that this much chocolatey chocolate would be so chocolate?
It's just word salad now. I mean, he's thrown a rod.
He's just repeating a word until it becomes almost nonsensical.
Yeah.
Just
Chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah.
Are you sure that we're going to be able to wait for the end of this podcast to hold him down and hit him?
Chocolate is my friend. Chocolate to the bitter end. I love chocolate. Ow! Let go of me! Ow! Ow! Chocolate. All right, let's try.
All right, just eat your chocolate, Greg.
All right, blue
There's
cheese.
more where that came from. I mean, I actually had to stop. Eric wanted to do it more.
I may ask you to hit me more based on how this chocolate goes. Let's see. Blue cheese.
Yeah, you can actually taste the cheese in this.
I'm not tasting blue cheese though.
It's hard to really pick out what it is. It's just a general cheesiness. You know, something more of a creamy light cheese, but
I'm not as big a fan of this.
no.
Oh,
definitely-
now I get the blue cheese. Now it's warming up. As I eat it, so it came out of the fridge. There is a definite blue cheese aftertaste to this truffle. The other one, I didn't get the lavender or the goat cheese. This one tastes like blue cheese crumbled right out of your salad and dipped in chocolate.
This wrecked our 300 average because I'm not a fan of this. It's not horrendous at all,
I would actually.
but I'm not going to finish it.
It could be a freak show, but it's not.
I'll say this is it's decent. I mean, I wouldn't tell somebody they gave me a bad chocolate if they gave me this, but it's also not a something I'm going to rave and tell people like you should actually try this.
No.
You know, I'm not going to ask Greg to take the rest of the box home on this one like I would the other.
I didn't strip my earphones off and walk to the corner to vomit.
No, but I would actually say, you know, I'm not going to like immediately scarf this, but I'm going to eat the rest of it. It's decent. I'm gonna rate it a 3.
I'll give it a 2.5.
I'll give it a 4 greasy wrappers out of 5 because I think it's delicious. I'm
Really?
I'm not a huge fan of blue cheese, but it's very well balanced. I mean, this could have been like they went to Golden Corral and got a blue cheese crumble salad and then ran it under the chocolate waterfall. But it's not like that at all. It's actually it's high-end quality truffle dark chocolate with a creamy blue cheese chocolate center, and that's not as horrible as it sounds. This could have been a freak show.
It's not as bad as I was afraid it was going to be.
No. I ranked it, 2.5 being something I can take or leave. I rated it slightly higher at 3.
Yeah.
So
This is a 2.5 for me.
kudos for making blue cheese chocolate into something that's actually decent.
Yeah, it's
And
edible.
And I will say these are such heavy truffles
Yes.
that unlike the cheesecake milkshake from earlier from Crave, I finished that because it was rich but still light. This is kind of a nibbling chocolate. You don't finish it in one sitting and jump in a swimming pool because you will sink to the bottom like you're holding a lead shot. I mean, it's a heavy chocolate.
Yeah, it is. I ate the entire one of the goat cheese, and it's, this is one that you eat one and then you put it away and take it back out later.
Yeah, absolutely.
You couldn't just sit there and eat these straight from the box without feeling basically like you'd done something morally wrong. And you'd feel violently ill, I think. Not because it's bad, but because there's a lot of it.
I
It's
think
a very
that's
heavy
actually a
food.
good thing. To me, like, I actually like that in a dessert because I don't like those things like you eat one and then you just want to keep going back.
Yeah.
Until you've and then you sit and you realize you've just eaten a pound of chocolate. You
Yeah.
eat one of these and you have your, whatever, 2.5
done.
ounces. You feel satisfied with
Yeah.
it. I much prefer that.
That's true. Yeah, you're done. Yeah.
Yep.
And it makes them last longer, so you don't get a box of chocolates like you get a box of dessert something like, oh boy, I can't, and then it's gone. Like, oh, I just ate the whole thing. Now I don't have it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is not going to happen with these.
No, not at all.
I will add that I stored these for 2 weeks in my little hotel fridge,
I don't care.
and it didn't pick up the flavor of anything in the fridge, so I'm grateful for that.
Once again, it was boxed. You didn't store salmon slices with the chocolate.
Okay, I didn't.
I'm not sure if you were just thinking about that or you're trying to cover up, but we won't worry about it. We'll move on.
I plead the fifth at this time, Senator.
Okay. All right, so let's summarize. We started off, in this case, with our drink, and we had a great chocolate shake. We moved on, and Greg can't quit playing with his damn
Put the
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its away.
We're
Get
almost
your hand
done.
out of that bag.
We're almost done with the podcast, Greg.
Good
Put the
God.
Cheez-Its away, damn it.
Wait, no! Carpe Cheez-Its! Give me my Cheez-Its, goddamn you! I want my Cheez-Its.
I will
You can get them
slap
back
you.
when the podcast is over.
I will slap you so hard I will retroactively hit your ancestors.
I don't think Grandpa Abner deserves that, Ryan.
Well, Grandpa Abner led to you, so something he did obviously deserves it.
He fell into a vat of cheese, okay?
All right. All right, so after that great cheesecake shake, we had some great Wisconsin cheddar, and we finished up with with one great truffle and one decent truffle. So I don't know, it's the universe is upside down.
Yeah,
and
nothing
everything was
sucks
wonderful
today.
this week.
Yeah.
Not even, the worst thing we had was a slightly above average item.
Yeah, the worst thing we had was decent. So
Yeah.
that's
And 3 out of the 3 out of the 5 things we put in our mouths today were excellent.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And we did have the crackers were
Well,
just
I don't
okay.
even count the cracker because it was a delivery system.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take
Oh,
that
yeah.
into my reckoning. So
And also, none of us used a pass card.
No, we didn't even think about it.
No, I mean, I thought Ryan might bail on the blue cheese truffle, but no, he stuck it out.
no, it was all right. I'm not going to finish it, but it was all
No.
right.
Yeah.
I've already had
I'm not
one of them. If I
finishing my-
finished it, that would be
I'm not finishing my blue cheese one either.
they're so heavy.
Yeah. All right. It is, so then, guys, any final thoughts, Ryan?
If Greg ever brings Cheez-Its into this place again, I quit.
Yeah, no more Cheez-Its, Greg.
Cheez-Its next week, then. My master plan shall be complete.
Yeah, and then who's going to edit this stuff?
Like I said, no more Cheez-Its, because I don't want to edit this stuff.
Yeah.
All right. And my final thought is, damn, that was some good food today.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I want to add.
Oh, Jesus, he's talking again.
I want to add that this should be a part 1 because I think there should be like Cheez-Its 2 or Cheese 2, the Electric Boogaloo, and we need to come back to cheese. 'Cause
Nobody cares what you think, Greg.
well, I care what I think.
Okay,
I'm
you're the only
wonderful.
one who cares about what you're thinking, Greg.
I think that my level of intelligence and competence is vastly outstripped by my belief and confidence in myself.
Well, that's obvious.
I don't even know if you realize what you just said, but I totally agree with you,
Yeah.
Greg.
Cheez-Its are yummy.
All right. Yep. And until next time, everybody, remember, eat, drink, and be merry.
Bye.
Bye.